Print, email, Facebook, Twitter. More. Beef Australia 2018. Hats on show at Australia's biggest beef industry event. Never trust a man in a black hat, or so they say in Western movies. But how much can you really tell from a person's hat? And what goes into choosing and wearing a hat in regional and rural Australia? Catherine George's family has been selling hats in central Queensland for more than 100 years. A hat is an extension of your personality, so you've got to be comfortable wearing it, she said. You know what image you want to project. Ms. George said there were many things to consider when choosing a hat, including depth of the crown, the bash, the shape of the creases in the crown, and the size and curve of the brim. She said color was an individual choice but was usually more about practicality than style. There are a million different beliefs, but, really, they can all be pretty well disregarded, she said. We get a lot of people saying you don't want to wear a black hat because you'll look like a baddie. But up in our climate, sometimes people will avoid a black hat if they are working in the sun because it can draw more heat. Kelva Cam from Claremont bought her 1-year-old daughter Marley her first new hat at Beef Australia 2018. ABC Capricornia, Megan Hendry image. One of 6 grazier Steve Colliger and his sons William, 9, and Joseph, 12, from Kempsey in New South Wales were on the hunt for new hats. ABC Capricornia, Megan Hendry image. 2 of 6 Cloncurry livestock and property agent Susan Coates said her 12-year-old triplets Sami, Georgie and Tori were given their matching Guatemalan palm leaf hats as a gift from their grandmother. ABC Capricornia, Megan Hendry image. 3 of 6 Rob and Donna Atkinson from Goomerai have more than a few well-worn hats at home but had their best on for Beef Australia 2018. It's a good hat until it looks like a work hat, Mr. Atkinson said. ABC Capricornia, Megan Hendry image. 4 of 6 Stevie Jackson from Tyro bought her hat in the United States while on a university tour. She said she was drawn to the hat's distinctive Texan-style bash. ABC Capricornia, Megan Hendry image. 5 of 6 Alan Knock from Mundubbera likes to choose a different style of hat each year. I won't be afraid to mix it up, he said. ABC Capricornia, Megan Hendry image. 6 of 6 Ms. George said one of her only fashion rules for choosing a hat was to select a brim width to match your height. You don't want a really wide brim on someone who is quite short, because you want them to look stylish rather than looking like a mushroom. Just about every size, shape and colour was on display at Australia's largest beef industry event in Rockhampton, central Queensland, this week. Sandy colours and light browns seemed to be the popular choice at Beef Australia 2018, but there were many who opted for black, white and even ruby reds. John Elrott from Moronish near Rockhampton wore a hat especially for this week's event, after buying it a year ago. I've got another one the same but the old one gets left at home and this one is just doing its apprenticeship now, he said. Mr. Elrott has been wearing the same style of hat for about 12 years, even though he buys a new one every 2 years or so. It's taken me half a lifetime to find the right sort of hat, he said. You want a hat with a stiff brim because when you are cantering a horse you don't want it flopping down in your face and you want one that's going to hang onto your head. My sons, they wear bull riders' hats, the straw ones with the bigger brims, but they're always picking them up off the ground when they get their horses mobile. Mr. Elrott said he agreed a good hat was an important part of an ensemble. I think it caps it off, you know, if you dress properly and you've got a nice hat, you're set. It's like singing a song, you've got to own it, he said. Former black hat wearer Jamie Becker, from Taroom, said he abided by an unspoken, general rule of thumb when choosing the height of a hat. The further north you live, the deeper it goes, so we're about in the middle of the state, he said. Wearing a brand new for Beef Australia 2018, Mr. Becker said a hat could also indicate the wearer's line of work. The higher the curl on the brim, the better the bull rider, and if it's a round bash, they probably breed sheep, he said. When it comes to color, Mr. Becker now likes to make a safe choice. When I was younger I had a black one, but I grew out of that. You never trust a man in a black hat, he said. Print, email, Facebook, Twitter. More.